Hello and namaste. Myself Bhupendra parajuli. I am from Utterance metropolitan city. I am studying from Mahindra Multiple Campus Dharan, Master's Program in Business Study. Now today I am going to present my opinion about the case of Millennium Challenge Corporation MCC for Nepal. This is the most controversial topic in the context of Nepal for nowadays. So, what is the MCC? The Millennium Challenge Corporation MCC is an independent foreign assistance agency of the United States government. MCC mandate is to assist the world's poorest country in reducing poverty through the economic growth while strengthening good governance, economic freedom and investment in people in those countries selected to receive its assistance. The US Congress in 2004 approved legislation for the establishment of the MCC as an independent bilateral foreign aid agency. A report by the Congressional Research Center says that the MCC is based on premises that economic development cannot succeed unless it is linked to free market policies and democratic principles. Since its inspection, the MCC board has approved 37 compacts worth $13 billion for 29 countries as of 2019. Only countries that demonstrate commitment to good governance, have positive development returns and take ownership of the program are eligible for MCC grant. Any country willing to receive the grant must have 10 of 20 indicators ranging from proper business condition for startup and environment, conducive to child health and civil liberties, to starts of political rights and funding for education. The grant is allocated for agriculture and irrigation, education, anti-corruption measures, power and energy, enterprise development, health, transportation, land rights, and sanitation and water supply. And what are the major facts about the MCC in the context of Nepal? According to US Embassy of Nepal, at the request of Nepal's leader, the US government began working with Nepal in 2012 toward development of an MCC compact. Each government and every Nepali political party when in power has expressed a desire to conclude an MCC compact for economic development in Nepal. The MCC project is focused purely on economic development by helping to build power lines and improve roads. The $500 million grant is a grant with no string attached, no interest rate and no hidden clauses. All Nepal has to do its commit to spend the money transparently for the project that have been agreed upon. Nepalese propose and decide with the project MCC will fund in Nepal based on Nepal's own priorities. In Nepal, as in every country where MCC work, parliamentary rectification is required and provides transparency and opportunity for Nepalese to understand the project. And why the MCC controversy in Nepal? One of the main questions. Politicians are divided over the Millennium Challenge Corporation MCC links with the US Indo-Pacific strategy and provisions that say the agreement will prevail over Nepal's law in case of conflict. During the recently concluded standing committee meeting of the ruling Nepal Communist Party, leaders appeared sharply divided over whether the federal parliament should ratify the United States Millennium Challenge Corporation Nepal Compact. A section of party leaders strongly stood against parliamentary ratification of the compact, arguing that the MCC is part of Washington Indo-Pacific strategy, which has military components that are aimed at countering China, a friendly neighbor. They have opposed the compact requirement of House approval, as the compact says that it will prevail over Nepal's existing law in case of conflict. And I asked in seminar with former Prime Minister Mr. Jalanath Khanal in Nepal, is Nepal has to lose MCC now? Then he said, no, MCC is good for Nepal's economic health. But there are so many confusing and controversial points and situations, Bhupendra ji. So it needs some change to apply in Nepalese context. So, what is MCC issue in Nepal? The main questions. MCC Compact was signed on September 14, 2017. The Nepali Congress government was in power and then Maoist Party, which later on merged with the Nepal Communist Party, Nepal United Marxist and Leninist (MALE), and become the Nepal Communist Party was the part of coalition government. MCC has already signed 37 threshold agreement with 29 different countries. Further, some countries signed a second threshold agreement after the first ended, but for amount ranging from $6.7 million to $55 million. Nepal was first country in South Asia to qualify for the compact after it meets 16 out of 20 policy indicators. Then Joint Secretary Vaikuntha Aryal and Jonathan Nash, acting Chief Executive Officer of the MCC in September 2017, signed an agreement in the presence of then Minister for Finance Gyanendra Bahadur Karki and US Deputy Secretary of State John Civilian in Washington. The US government agreed provide $500 million American dollar in grants, while Nepal put in $130 million American dollar for the project that prioritizes energy and roadway. This is the largest grant Nepal has ever received, and the major part of this fund to be spent for setting up 400 kilovolt transmission line running 400 km on the Lapsi Phedi Galchi Damauli Sona power corridor as per pre-known reports. Some $130 million is allocated for the other infrastructural improvement. So, the main issue, where does the dispute come from? Finance Minister Yuvraj Khatiwada in July last year registered compact at the Federal Parliament for rectification. However, it was never present before the House for approval. Though the dispute has only surfaced recently, a section of Nepal Communist Party, including its chief Dev Gurung, had been lobbying former Speaker Krishna Bahadur Mohara to not prioritize the compact for rectification. There wasn't much dispute over the compact until David Ranch, Assistant Secretary for South Asia at the US State Department, during his Nepal visit in May last year, said that the MCC was crucial part of the Indo-Pacific strategy. Dissenting leaders within the ruling party have demanded that the government clarify if the MCC is a part of US strategy. Referring to the statement from US official, politicians like Bhim Rawal, Jalanath Khanal, Madhav Kumar Nepal said that Foreign Minister Pradeep Gyawali lied to them when he said on December that the deal was not a part of Indo-Pacific strategy. The standing committee meeting of the ruling party last month was unable to decide on rectification following sharp criticism from members. Foreign Minister Gyawali has repeatedly denied that the MCC Nepal Compact talks about the Indo-Pacific strategy. He said that was nothing to worry about. The implementation of project under the Millennium Challenge Corporation will be guided slowly by the compact. However, a range of social media blasts have begun since the controversial statement was disclosed. The seemingly malicious statement about the prevailing of MCC law above Nepal existing law is the major reason of conflict. So, people have divided themselves into two sides. One side says it's suicidal and the other says it's necessity. Those who oppose the compact believe this to be part of Indo-Pacific strategy of US and military eyes over China, the solo competitor of US in terms of global power. It is seen by most as a weapon to surround China and use its troops to have a global market and economic control. So, MCC good for Nepal or not? Today I am going to present a case of MCC in the facts and in my opinion. So, MCC is good for Nepal or not? In my personal opinion, the $500 million grants is definitely worth considering, looking only at its value and further development prospect it's bring. However, some reportedly malicious statement and the seemingly corrupt act from Nepalese system has brought the intention of MCC into question. Our country won't want to root its relation with China if MCC intends in that direction, as it's one of the neighbor country to always ask help from. So, at last, if MCC is a part of Indo-Pacific strategy, then Nepal might want to think again before passing final statement. However, the terms as malicious as they sound, probably for the welfare of those working as part of Millennium Challenge Corporation in Nepal, we cannot as well ignore that the terms could be exploited for extra political advantage to the United States. So, MCC is good for Nepal. If we interpret the terms positively, it may not be good if us intention are extra political, the main issue. And thank you. All information based on my own research, MCC website, MCC agreement PDF file, and many alternates of experts give me many information about the fact of MCC. So I would like to thank all of them who helped me for the provide review of literature. Thank you and bye bye.